Hey Deckers, My Time at Sandrock released earlier this month, actually on the 1st of November, and its full release has been in early access for a while. Huge thanks to Focus Entertainment for providing me with a key so I could test this one out on the Steam Deck, and I must say I've spent way more time than I probably should have done testing this one out. This is extremely fun and chill, and if you are into games like Stardew Valley, then this is a huge improvement in my book, and has tons of story quests and extras to boot. This is a few games mashed up in one, but it does them all incredibly well. I'm going to start off with the low settings. The only change that I'm going to do here is up the anti-aliasing to the TAA, as that really smooths things off and makes a huge difference. This is perfectly playable at low settings. You're not going to hold 60 frames per second all of the time, but with those low settings you are going to get around an hour and a half battery, so you will be able to play quite happily. Now I do increase this to medium a little bit later because I do feel it looks a little bit better, but I will show that a little bit later. So first of all, some low gameplay. So many aspects to this with your crafting and also your chopping and everything abilities, and even combat thrown in. And water is a major drain on the resource, so you really do want to figure that out early on in the game. Otherwise it will really slow down your progress. And this game throws lots at you with lots of quests and other bits and pieces, but the grind is definitely real. And you're going to be looking at around 50 to 60 hours playtime just on the single player, and it does have a whole multiplayer aspect as well. Let's dial this up to medium. This is actually going to be my recommended settings. Medium default with TAA set, VSync off, and keep your 60 frames per second cap in Steam. And you'll notice that this runs around 40 to 50 frames per second most of the time, but you're not going to notice that if you don't have the frames per second up. It looks absolutely fantastic on the Steam Deck screen, and you're going to have just an absolute great time with this game. The combat is quite funny, and a lot of the monsters, and I'll call them monsters rather than animals because they have some strange abilities like shooting rockets at you and throwing firebombs. So there is quite a few different aspects to this game, and I do still find it funny every time I go and kick a cactus tree, get some spikes off of it. Word of warning, it does throw a lot of stuff at you early on in the game that you will not be able to progress, and it does get a little bit frustrating running around finding things that you just can't do. And the advancement for the next set of tools is actually quite a bit of work, so don't think you're going to fly into this one and be able to build your way through in a few hours. It does take a significant amount of time, and the tech tree is just a small portion of that. Overall, I've really enjoyed my time at Sandrock, and I will be playing this a little bit more when I got some free time, as it's very easy to lose yourself for a couple of hours playing this one. Let us know in the comments below if you're diving into this one or whether you've already picked it up. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.